Hey, I'm not sure if I'll post this or not, but even a note to self. I was just talking with Miranda this morning. We're working our way down to the Tucson area, stay there a little while, and then we'll go to maybe Texas. But we're thinking about the homestead, and I was thinking about um, when we get back there, if we're able to build some type of structure to make it there over winter, and to do the homesteading life, there's some major projects that we would need because we don't want to do just a little rinky-dink garden and then a few things here. We actually really want to go all out, um, you know, as much as we can. That is, to do the homesteading life. That means our goal would be to raise 60 to 70% of our food. I would say about except for everything except for maybe wheat. Getting bread or flour, or getting flour to work with, I guess, and milk, maybe milk. But our goal is also to eventually to have a cow to milk. That would be a bigger time commitment. But we're considering that. But we have the sheep for meat, and we'd also like cow meat too. But having a cow and a calf, like what is it? The Scottish Highland. That would be something we thought about. Would be really good in our the cold winters there in Missouri. But we really do want to grow most of our food. I think that's the healthiest way to live. I know it would require a lot of work and time, but I think we could do it. I think it would work for our family, and that would mean we would need a root cellar to store a lot of the food. Being able to can the food would be, we can do that, but we're going to have to store a lot of the food in a root cellar. So having a root cellar, having a greenhouse, one that goes into the earth a bit. I've had some plans in my mind for a long time. A pond would go a long way because there's a protein source there, with fish. So having a pond would be big, and fencing in some area where we can rotate our sheep and maybe possibly have a cow and a calf or something like that someday would be huge. But yeah, we want to grow all of our food, so we're just gonna have a big hump to get over, just to get started, to get the place to store the food, process, and to extend the growing season with a greenhouse. Man, I think that we could do it. We need a lot of help. It's really the labor, helping hands, to get things started and done. Not just anyone, but people who know what homesteading requires. And I have some specific needs concerning my health, avoiding mold. So doing a greenhouse a certain way that the wood doesn't mold in there. There's some specific considerations, for us. I think it should be for everybody, though, the way we do these things, and the root cellar. But man, and I have enough for materials for a home, potentially, but to put it up, to pay someone to put it up, we don't have that amount. So the labor for that. So I was thinking, we applied to the Homestead Rescue show, and I was thinking, man, a lot of what they do are just small things here and there, but it's not sustainable. When you count the calories a family needs to be sustainable throughout a year, you have to grow a lot of your food. That means some high calorie crops like potatoes and corn. Also having beans, I think we'd always buy stuff like we can't grow, like rice and things like that. That's why I say our goals, like I guess 60 to 70% of what we eat, we want to grow and raise. But I think the Homestead Rescue could go to the next level by actually calculating what does it take to sustain a family of 6, how many calories, and what would you need to grow, and then getting people set up to actually do that, and then maybe even checking in on them a year down the road or something to see, is it working, are they sustainable, to that level of whatever their goal is. But we would like to go all out, right, love?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're thinking for our family, we could do it. I think we could do it. It would require a lot of work, but that's what we want to do, and I think that's the way to live. Now, we're not in charge, and we just submit our lives to God. If things don't work out, we'll keep doing what we're doing. We accept that this is the season we're in for our family. being on the highways and byways, but I don't think it's a forever season. And we're praying that it come to an end where we can actually live on our land and live the homesteading lifestyle. Man, that'd be nice. And we're always available to go on trips and go other places if we need to. But as far as our own home and our own subsistence, like the homesteading lifestyle is, I think, the way to go. I think it's the healthiest lifestyle we can live.
It's exciting too, just knowing, like, you know, even those onions over there in the cup, like we can get food, we can grow food.
Right.
We don't have to go to a grocery store. We can step right outside our door and we can just pick how much we need. There's no waste. You know, your scraps go to your compost pile. You know, there's
a
just
whole,
the whole
ecosystem.
Yeah.
It all works together.
And it's exciting just knowing, like, we can just sustain ourselves, but we can, if we have extra, it'd be nice to be able to help others in need. So, you know, if it's something that, you know, we don't need, we can also say, well, you know, this didn't really appeal to us and we just don't need this much. We didn't need as much as we thought we needed. We can just sell it or give it. I mean, I'm happy to give.
Right, and naturally that is like the homesteading lifestyle. You don't have a tree of pears or apples or something because in 2 weeks you want to eat 100 pears or apples. You know, this is something that you do kind of within a community and you share with your neighbors, and hopefully they share with you things that they grow, and you don't have to all grow the same thing too. So, you know, having some intentionality about your community is something that we're interested in too. Of course, that's something that has to be reciprocated, but we will always be the ones that share. But when you do this lifestyle around other people who do it, there's a synergy about it where you have to work less, you know. And I think we're made to live within community like that as well. You know, for just natural community and practical purposes, even your fellowship and spiritual, you know, purposes. This is part of the lifestyle we feel called to lead. And so anyway, that's kind of my thoughts. I think Homestead Rescue could go at the next level to get people really started on that sustainable goal, not just like literally like counting the calories and the amount. This is what you need to grow to be sustainable. And do you have actually the land to do that? Some people don't. Some people start homesteading in the desert and nothing is really sustainable, though the rescue goes out and helps them as much as they can within their environment, but they're dependent on certain systems, you know. And we don't want to ignore technology. We love solar. We're going to have solar and all the technology, but we don't want to be completely dependent on it. We want to have a lot that's just, and we have water on our own property. We found that as we dug down. 16 feet deep, and so that's not an issue anymore. That was the starting point. Everything else has been delayed, but now we know that we're ready to go get started with this homestead. Anyway, that would be the next level, I think, for Homestead Rescue, don't you?
Yeah, I think, you know, it was Homestead Rescue started out really exciting, you know. I know that they want to try to have more unique things per whatever individual or your, you know, area. But there was one that I remember that was kind of really cool, like, which I haven't seen them do in a while. But it was, they brought somebody in, or they went to someone and they were teaching them a skill for a profit, like for an income.
To make it not just sustainable but profitable, where you can sell, and that aspect too. You haven't seen a lot of that lately. It's just like they do their little, you know, and Marty does his, you know, machinery thing, you know, Matt does his hunting thing and building a few things in an interesting way, and it's all cool. I like the whole system. And Misty does the gardening.
Misty.
Yeah. So, and those are good I mean, those are all essential, but like taking it to the next level of, and like, yeah, when they helped that, they became kind of had started a business, you know. Like if we were already raising sheep, but if we had Highland cattle, I mean, that's kind of a big hurdle to cross.
Yeah.
But then if you bred and were selling the cattle and getting the milk, you could be selling the milk. It would be a bigger commitment, more work. But you know, things on that level. Yeah. So we have trees planted, and you know, they're going to start producing. A lot of these things are forward facing, but they take a lot of work to get started, and that's kind of where we're at, the starting point again for this second homestead, and this one to be fully off grid, fully sustainable, as opposed to kind of before where we were grid tied and kind of connected into the system and working within that system the best we could for a while.
Yeah, and sometimes, like, even traveling, I was just thinking about this, even traveling, we get back where, you know, the early growing season has already passed, and so we kind of miss that point. Like, if we were there on our homestead, we wouldn't miss it.
Right.
But, you know, having an early start would be nice. And even having a greenhouse, or even starting some things in the garden, yeah, that would be really helpful. But we kind of, like, you know, with homeschooling and stuff, kind of takes away some of that growing season where we could do. And
Right. Well, you know, we just have to, as far as that scheduling is, changing the summer schedule up to where there's more time off in the spring, time off in the fall around planting and harvest.
Used to be.
Well, like there used to be,
Right,
yeah.
because they would have to take these
And so
times off.
we can
harvest
adjust that,
season.
and that's this lifestyle kind of. That's
Season.
why, yeah, it just requires adjustment all the way around. Homesteading is a completely different lifestyle than the conventional way. It
Right.
requires a lot of adjustment, and we're willing to do that. But yeah, Homestead Rescue, I think they could take it on the next level. Even starting with us, like
We challenge you to
Yeah, we
take
challenge
it
you.
to the next level.
right, because like we want to do it. We want to, like, we're serious about it. I've been studying this for years. We've done it for a while to some level, but we want to go more all out now, and that would require more work, but and also just help up front, helping hands to help us get these systems in place so that we can maintain them. And now that I'm feeling better with my health, I think I can do that. I'm on the mending side, and we just trust that that's going to continue, and I'm going to be able to do a lot more than I have been in the past 7 years.
Yeah, and I think even, you know, the whole financial part of, I mean, I don't know all that Homestead Rescue. I'm not sure how all that works. I just know that they post how much it costs after each project, but I know a lot of people would probably even donate to this cause, because I've seen tons of comments, like millions, probably, you know, millions of people commenting like how they really like the show, because it's real, like, people helping, and
Yeah, people helping people. That's a good idea, because what if the rescue, you know, accepted families, and then as they stated their needs, they could put it out pre-season. This family and this needing this family, this is where they're at. Almost like at the end of the previous season or something, put the show of this is what we're going to be doing next season.
Yeah.
People, you can even start a fund, and people can give into the fund and say this is what's needed. But I think that there's probably a lot of income that comes in through the corporate network.
Right.
But this is just another way to actually get listeners and watchers, viewers involved in this whole thing too. You know, they can take part in it as well. But you know, that require some coordination and prior time and different scheduling.
which I'm sure people have that skill in the industry.
Yeah,
And
right.
have the
Just a matter of what they want to do. But anyway, these are things that could take the show to the next level. But we're ready to go to the next level. That's the main thing. I think we're ready to go to the next level, and we think Homestead Rescue could do it as well, and we could do it together with our home project. And man, what a job to be able to help people too. I'd love to have the Rainey's job to go around doing those things. It's cool. It's cool what they do. It's a cool show. That's why we like it. I think it's just kind of lost its pizzazz a little bit and just doing the same routine and not like letting people, educating them. This is what it requires, you know. This is the amount that you have to grow, and you can do it with animals or plants. You have to grow a lot more plants if you're relying on them. But explaining all these nuances, man, that's definitely next level.
Yeah,
so anyway,
they have a really good start though, you know, of like, you know, training people how to use tools and how to hunt the predators or hunt for your food.
And it's different for every family.
How to use different, you know, think outside the box type of thing. You don't just, you know, build a square hut, you know, Matt's.
Right, once you build a trapezoidal or something. Well, it's interesting. It makes it interesting, but getting people to be sustainable, really sustainable, you know, that would be even more interesting. A bigger challenge for sure. But anyway, this food for thought. Didn't want to make this video too long, but just saying that we're ready to go to the next level. I think the show could as well. And it could really educate people on that side of it. Like, what does it really require? Let's get down to business, brass tacks. But if you want to just come up, help us, you know, make a root cellar and some greenhouses, get started on our structure for a home, or put the structure up at least. Man, just getting us started would be huge. Otherwise, I don't see how we can do it on our own. I really don't. We have to have helping. We don't have enough money to pay people to do it. I don't even think we have enough money to finish a home. I just thought if we get the structure up and get it insulated, that would be a long way, you know. And with some health and healing, I could get a job again, and we can go from there, you know.
Yeah, I think, you know, even stamina for you, you know, because of the chronic fatigue that comes with the illness and the brain fog, you know, you're building the tree house.
Yeah, everything is so much harder.
Was rough for you, and you know, I saw that, you know, because before, you know, you're just very precise in your measurements, and
the brain fog,
your focus
making mistakes.
Is very good before the sickness, but after, you know, you struggle, and I understand and I see that.
Right.
So you know, you need some help.
Yeah, I'm doing much better these days, but I still have some brain fog and forget numbers. Not like it's all in my head like before when I was, you know, former contractor, electrician. So, but yeah, need some help. We just really need help. But the next level help would, you know, but we'd take any help we can get. Put up a few structures, help us get started. We go a long way on that. Anyway, just food for thought, some consideration for Homestead Rescue going to the next level and helping us get to the next level as well.